Yo, yo, what is going on? Live stream, baby. It's funny, I have to switch from like podcast mode to live stream mode, time teller mode, beast mode, goblin mode. Let me turn on the chat. I just realized I don't have the chat bar open. Let me see. We got people joining in for show. For show. Let's see who shows up. We're going to take some time to wait for the regulars to show up. Cade Derbyshire. I feel like there's latency on my chat right now. Viggy Smalls says loves your content. Thank you so much. Noel, love your vids, buddy. Thank you so much. Miguel is here. Sakari, certified T3 bot. Andy from London, England. Yes, very, very posh. Dan Juan, what time is it? 11:33 a.m. Let's get down to business. AZ Tazfan, good morning. Jory and T3 Nation. Johan Sigfridsson, hello. Miguel, there is not. Don't know what you were referring though, but I appreciate it regardless. Vasilios, hi from Greece. What's going on? Tomo Rooney, top of the morning. Cade says, good job on the podcast, by the way, lad. Thank you so much, guys. So I titled this live stream, The Podcast is Destroying Me, because the truth is, it is destroying me. No, the truth is, it's kind of increased my workload like tenfold, because now I've had to bring in someone to actually schedule other people, because let's be honest. The entire time teller channel is me interacting with wristwatches. Wristwatches are tiny little items that you have control over. I mean, they've kind of controlled our lives because we are terrible addicts. But they're easy to film, easy to make content about, as long as you're passionate and you want to talk about them. With the podcast, though, now I'm having to schedule other people to talk to, and people are stepping up asking to be part of the podcast, which is awesome. This is a great problem to have. The issue is that it's just a very different hat that I have to wear because I'm doing more outreach. So with the Time Teller channel, all the people that want to sponsor the channel or they want ad reads, they do outreach to us. They ask us, hey, can we be on your channel? Can the Time Teller do an ad read? And then we say yes or no, or we negotiate or this or that. Now I'm having to do outreach to other people being like, hey, you've literally never heard of this podcast. Would you like to come talk to us? And luckily, pretty much everyone is saying yes, which is awesome. The bad thing is that like it's just a ton more work. So you guys know that around 2020, I kind of crossed this threshold where I was filming every day of the week. That has not changed. Now I've also recorded podcasts every day this week. So it's literally doubled my workload. So what does this mean to you? Well, it means a lot more content. In the description of this live stream, there will be links to the Anchor, to Spotify, where you can listen to the podcast free. And there's also a link to the Things That Keep Me Up at Night YouTube channel. So if you want to watch the longer form content, there's a YouTube channel for you to watch it. And then if you want to listen to it, there's a few links there that you can click and you can watch it. I have an alarm set to make sure that I went live right now. Okay. So you guys, please check out the live stream. Leave a review if you can. I know there's like a rating system on Spotify. I think right now it has 5 stars, which is dope. If you guys could subscribe to the Things That Keep Me Up at Night channel, that would also help out a ton. And Yeah, if anyone knows anyone that's an expert on Mothman, let me know. Let's check out the comment section, yeah? Lone Wolf McQuaid says, hey, brother. Dean is here, certified T3 bot. Justin Davidson says, why did my phone just write Joey? Well, it's because Jory is a weird name. Mike Kalustian, certified T3 bot, says, I'm heading out right now, Jory, but I'm going to message you in Discord mod chat in a few minutes. Awesome. I will look for your message, brother. Saunders says, good evening from Wales. I've always wanted to go to Wales. Psychofu, certified T3 bot, says, what up, homie? Cade is also a fellow Welshman. Dude, we have a few Welshmen here. Man, I wish I could go. Stefan from Denmark. Chris says, long-time watcher / listener. Thank you so much. Nice to see you. The Mad Watch Collector here. Russ is here. Threatening to do a Mad Watch podcast. Go for it. It's a lot of work. It'll probably pay off. Do it. Gold Fools. Western Australia is here. Ian Lyle says, the podcast has been good so far. Cuss more. Stefan says, what is the podcast called on Spotify? Things that keep me up at night. If you click, there's a link to it in the description. Check out the links in the description, Stefan. There's a link to the podcast. Check it out. So I know we've already heard. How can I join your Discord? Well, you have to click the join button next to the subscribe button. If you become a channel member, then you get access to the Discord, and it's a whole lot of fun. Guys, what are you sipping on? Because I'm going to be honest. I've been drinking more coffee than I ever have in my life. And the crazy thing is it doesn't really help because it's decaf. Because I've given up caffeine. So I'll tell you what I'm drinking. I'm drinking, it's like Van Allen's Morning Roast, I think it's called. What do you guys, come on. Help me out here. What are you sipping on? It's a very light roast, by the way, you can see. It's good, though. Tim says, bam, love your videos, dude. Thank you so much, man. TFT is here, certified T3 and moderator. Everybody be on your best behavior. BB says, ever think about having your parents guest appear on the podcast? It might get people to get to know another side of you. My dad is potentially interested in coming on the podcast. Guys, who here, green for go, red for no, who is interested in having my father on the podcast? So someone please. Hey, I didn't know you were chill like that. Oh, dang. This guy's so chill, bro. That meme's hilarious. Green for go, red for no. Let me know who'd be interested in having my dad on the podcast. People are drinking palm juice. TFT was just eating a watermelon, so he's not thirsty. Ian's drinking water, but he's in Germany right now, so I guess he says it differently. Psycho Fu is drinking the dew. Do the dew. K. Derbyshire is drinking the souls of his enemies. Caleb says Zip Fizz. Vitamins, only 50 mgs of caffeine. I don't have any. I try not to have any caffeine. Shane, certified Teetherbot, my Kiwi viewer. Kiora. Sweet as, baby. Stefan's drinking a cold beer. On Point Leatherwork, certified Teetherbot, happy to catch live. Happy that you're here, bro. So I'm asking people, there's a little bit of latency on the chat. So I'm getting the comments a little bit slower than I'm used to, but we're having people now responding about my dad. People are saying yes. People are saying green. Caleb U says red. Caleb does not want my dad on the podcast. Pretty much everyone else, Dean, On Point, Lone Wolf, Mike, Doctors in the House, Tim, Mark, Saunders. Everyone is saying that my dad should be on the podcast. Andy says bring Daddy Goodman on. TFT, certified teeth and moderator, says, wait, Jory has parents? I thought he just materialized one day in a Seiko factory. So you're saying I'm Malaysian? Oh, that's a little joke because, everyone complains that some Seikos are made in Malaysia. Whatever. So, we are 10 minutes in. Perfect timing. You already know what we're supposed to do. Not everybody can be here during the live segment. So during the recorded playback, people like to listen to it as if it's a podcast, which is so interesting because that's not good enough for people. And they've also asked me to do an actual podcast. So maybe I won't wave at you guys anymore. Maybe I'm gonna stop waving at the people that watch the recorded because it's like, what the heck? It doesn't even matter. You don't even care. You want me to do more work anyway. But no, we'll still wave. We love you. We see you. We acknowledge you. Thanks for watching the recorded playback. And if you want some longer form audio only stuff, hey, we have a podcast now. Idle Time says, "Good afternoon, jewelry. Check out the Orient World Time Dive at GMT. It's pretty sweet." I'll have to write to Orient. I'll tell them to send me one. Shane, it's 6:40 a.m. here. What's going on? But yeah, guys, give me some feedback here. Honestly, give me some feedback. What is the consensus about the live stream? Like, are people enjoying it? Comment section wave, by the way. Yep, the comment section is waving, in fact. But I want to know some feedback because we run the gamut of topics, okay? There's people that we've already interviewed that are in the watch industry. There's people that we've reviewed that may or may not have been armored car guards pertaining to a certain huge watch heist that happened with a Brinks truck. We may or may not have interviewed a psychologist talking about compulsive buying and collecting and wristwatch addiction. It's like a real thing. We may or may not be talking to a moon landing denier today, right after the live stream. I'm recording a podcast. And we have some other things, 9/11 conspiracy theorists. We're going to be talking to other watch reviewers. We're going to be talking to some people in the race car community. So we have a bunch of things going on, and it runs the gamut because it's truly all the things that keep me up at night. So if you want to support that, we really do appreciate it. The comment section is waving. Bryson, do we have two moderators today? What? Bryson's here. BH, call him Beverly Hills Bryson. Certified Teeth Bot and moderator says, "Hello, sirs and madams." Kate says, "Yeah, it's more chill and not as serious as others. Refreshing." Yeah, man, you just gotta have fun. You gotta have whatever you're doing. Try to have fun with it. John says, "I'll be your podcast." Hold on, my comments just scrolled up. "I'll be your podcast co-host, but I'm not cheap. We'll work for G-Shocks." Then you're pretty cheap, as long as you don't get into like the Master of G series or whatever. Tim says, "Live stream's awesome. It's cool just to connect with you guys directly." Yeah, dude, this everyone loves the live streams, which is good because the live streams were my favorite part of this channel. Now I want some feedback on the podcast. How are people enjoying the podcast? And do you see a difference with it? Because what I don't want is for the podcast to... I don't want the live stream to just be a podcast, and I don't want the podcast to just be a live stream. Do you know what I mean? So I'm hoping that you guys have some fun. I actually have a stream producer helping me out for the podcast. So if you see me checking messages, it's because we're setting something up literally right after I finish this. We're recording a podcast. Leigh Mitchell from the UK. Andy G says, "Anyone else stuck at work today?" Me, technically. Jose Medina, your thoughts on Laco, Hanhart, and Stova? Laco and Stova I'm a big fan of. I think that they're really cool, somewhat affordable, authentic German Flieger watches, right? They make some really cool watches. I still want that Stoa bronze. Really, really cool. Big crown, pilot's watch. But it's hard for me to justify because I have the Oris Big Crown Pro Pilot bronze, and it's different because the Oris is not a Flieger, right? But it is a pilot's watch, and I've said many times that that's kind of the best pilot's watch on the market, in my opinion. But Cade says, my favorite conspiracy was that my parents said I'd be happy one day. Yikes. TFT, the moderator, has a link, T3 vid on German watches. If you click that, you can check it out and you can see all my opinions. Wristwatch check for today? Sure, why not? I'm wearing one of my least expensive watches ever. This twin sensor Casio, technically not even part of the G-Shock line, and I wear this thing all the time. I freaking love this watch. Peter says, I will have to check out the podcast, Joy. Please do, because links in the description below, and it's free for you guys to watch. Shane says, I haven't seen podcasts. I've been a little busy. I know. You sound like a busy guy. But please, links in the description. It's free to listen to, guys. It's free to watch. You really do help me out every time that you guys check it out. So please let me know. John says, I don't know if you do or don't, but I feel like anymore you have to post your podcast as a video to get traction. Most people seem to consume those via video anyway. Yeah, that's why we upload them on YouTube. So we record like with the camera and everything, and you can watch it at the Things That Keep Me Up at Night channel, or you can listen to it on Spotify or Anchor. And we're going to put it on Google and Apple and everything. So don't worry. Bo Backwoods is here. Cool Colorway says, what happened to your other YouTube channel? Did the podcast replace it? Well, I have 3 channels. You guys ready for this? I have the Time Teller channel. I don't know if you've heard about that one. I talk about watches and stuff. I'm just kidding. You're here. I have Things That Keep Me Up at Night, which I will make videos about random things that mental health, personal development, anime, things that keep me up at night, things that I think about. And then also the podcast we're uploading on that channel, the Things That Keep Me Up at Night podcast. We also have T3 Time to Drive. And I haven't uploaded on that in 6 months because I've been so freaking busy. I'm happy to announce we just recorded a full-length episode of T3 Time to Drive, and we're doing it monthly. So we're probably not going to be able to do car episodes weekly like I wanted to do, but we are going to be doing them monthly. I just finished an episode on my Porsche 944. It's probably one of the best T3 Time to Drive episodes I've ever done, and I'm very excited for you guys to see it. So I have 3 channels. Both of them are going to be rolling, and yeah, I just needed help to do, like, I need help to do all these projects, because at the end of the day, I'm just one guy. So finding people that I trust, that are proficient, that have similar goals and vision, that takes a bit of time. So luckily I have my editors, I have my producer, I have a cinematographer that's now helping me out with the drive content. And yeah, it's work, but it's worth it. Like I told you guys, get out of your comfort zone. Finding and paying a cinematographer to help me film car stuff, that's not something I was necessarily comfortable with because I didn't know how it would turn out. It wasn't me working the camera. I didn't know if they would be proficient. Then, you commit, you hope for the best, and it typically works out. So, and it worked out this time. So that's really cool. Ian Lyle, when will you start T3 Time to Lift? Probably going to talk about weightlifting on the Things That Keep Me Up at Night podcast. Stefan says, I actually purchased my first watch after you reviewed it. Orient Defender 2. Love that watch. Will for sure check out your podcast. Thank you so much. Suki says, 3rd message not read. You understand that I am getting literally hundreds of comments. And it looks like a credits scrolling. So if you get upset that I'm skipping your comments, it's not because I'm skipping your comments. It's because I have to do this live. I have to be snappy and I have to keep talking because I can't look at every single comment and nail them down. I have to. This is a live show, dude. John says, true car guy with a Porsche 944. Amen. Amen. Shane says, stream a little blocky for me. We might be having some connectivity issues right now, but so it says I'm shooting in 60 FPS. So that's decent. What headphones you rocking? I actually don't know. They're really good, though. They're really good, and they were really affordable. They have really good ratings online, so I got them. On Point says, what about the Time Away channel? I looked for it the other day and couldn't find it. Yeah, we turned that into the T3 Time to Drive channel because I realized that. Okay, so here, can I do a little rant on here? On Point Leatherworks, certified T3 bot. Can I do a little rant? Is that okay? Am I allowed? Green for go, red for no. If you want to rant for me right now, live. I'll wait. I should probably get in front of the camera. I'm waiting for green for go, red for no. I know there's a delay in the chat, so I'm taking a little breather so that I can have a few sips of my coffee. I'm gonna do the rant anyway. Here's the big issue with the Time Away channel. The goal of Time Away was to share with you guys more of my personal life with Connie. And it wasn't going to be true vlogs, but it was going to be some of the travel stuff that we had planned. The issue is that when we did it, it was going pretty well at first. And then 2020 rolled around and the world literally shut down. So I was like, okay, I made this channel Time Away where the whole point was filming our travels. Now everything's closed and we literally cannot travel. So I was like, what the F am I going to do? This channel's just dead because I can't do anything because it's all, everything's locked down. You can't, it was so frustrating. It was so incredibly frustrating. So I came up with the idea. I was like, you know what? I'm really Podcast Stage is here. Shout out Podcast Stage. Check out his channel. He's the expert when it comes to podcasts, and he's a really good supporter of mine. So please support him. Then it got to the point where I was like, listen, I love cars, and one of the only things I can do with everything locked down is I can go drive in the canyons, and I can talk to the people who feel comfortable talking to other people, because in 2020 people are like, oh no, you can't talk to anyone, don't talk to anyone, you might get sick, don't talk to anyone. And the cool thing was that car people are really cool and will talk to anybody about cars. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna make a channel about cars. And so the T3 Time to Drive just enveloped Time Away because out of necessity. I had this desire to make more content, but the content I wanted to make, I couldn't because the world was locked down. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do car content and bite the bullet and do it. Now, the issue with why I've been uploading so irregularly on the car channel now is, again, because cars are so much different to film than watches, man. Watches are such a small item that you can have a lot of control over and manipulate and get good shots, macro shots, this and that. Cars are the absolute opposite. They're not a static thing. They're a moving thing that People want to see dynamic shots of, and you have to schedule things and this and that. Kate says, I like your car channel. Thank you so much. Well, the good thing is that I'm not abandoning that one at all, because I don't know if you know this, but cars are a huge passion of mine. I'm not even kidding. I could cry talking about how much I love cars and what they mean to me. Same with watches. Like watches and cars, I love them so much, and they bring me so much enjoyment. Not more enjoyment than humans do. Humans are much more important to me, obviously, human interaction. But it's because watches have, first of all, watches remind me of my dad, which is incredibly important. And then when you think about how many people have worn vintage watches and the stories that vintage watches tell, and the eras that watches have lived through and fought through and gone through, it's like it's so I suppose sentimental and romanticized, but it's so interesting. And then when I think personally about all the people that I've been able to connect with simply because of wristwatches, simply because of these like silly little things on our wrists that tell time, it makes me want to tear up, because I'm like, dude, millions of people watch my content every month, and I interact with thousands of people every month because of watches. It's so important to me. And then cars, I'm not going to give up that channel because it's the same thing. Cars again remind me of my dad. My dad set me up to have zero money, essentially. He's like, here's a bunch of really expensive addictive hobbies. Have fun. Good luck. But cars also, it's like you think about all the people that are in the car world that are car enthusiasts, and there's a huge there's a huge connection with cars and watches. Most watch guys are car guys. Most car guys are watch guys. It's just very interesting. But it's, yeah, the enjoyment that cars bring me, it's this crazy visceral high that I get when I'm driving. I love it. So pigs in the blankets, ever seen Matt Farah out in the canyons? Yes, I have, for sure. Ian Dangerously, when are you getting a Porsche design watch to go with that sweet 944? I have a 911 also, by the way, guys. I know everybody wants to talk about the 944. I also have a 911. I would get a Porsche. You know what? I'm going to share with you the one that I want. I don't want any modern Porsche design watches, because I think they're kind of ugly. But there is an old, if I can find a 7176, I don't know, I'm going to try to pull up one. Porsche design 7176. Let me find a good picture of it. I'm just going to show you the Google listing. So if I could find one of these, whoop, there I am. A 7176, I'd rock this in a second. You know, just looks really cool. So in this case, yeah, I would love a Porsche design watch, but the Porsche design watches I want are the old ones. What are these going for now? Yeah, it looks like the average is around $5,000. Cool watch though. Cool watches for sure. Reading comments. Raul, do you hire cars to make reviews? I don't hire cars per se, but a lot of the cars I film are from people within the hobby that live here in SoCal. And there's a lot of issues with California. Personally, I hate Los Angeles. I'm going to say this clearly so people can clip it. I hate Los Angeles. But you cannot deny that SoCal is probably the premier place for the car automotive scene. It just is, whether I like it or not. Let me fix my mic. What is going on with my mic? What is going on with my microphone? Sorry, had to clamp it down there. And so the cool thing is that a ton of the car guys with really crazy connections and collections, they all live here in LA. So it's kind of a no-brainer to keep these connections and film their cars. Sakari, certified T3 bot, member for 39 months. Thank you so much, dude. He says, your dad didn't want you to do drugs, so he made sure you wouldn't have any money for them. My mom is listening to this live stream. That is the comment of the year. Your dad didn't want you to do drugs, so he made sure you wouldn't have any money for him. Tim says, I feel like we love these material things, not because of the material, but because of the stories we tell ourselves about them. Yeah, accurate. I love the yellow 911 Commando, and ever since loved that car. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's a bad guy driving it, I'm pretty sure, right? When they're going through the canyon, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Is it Porsche? Is it Porsche or Porsche? I say Porsche. And in German, it's like Porsche. It's not Porsche. It's Porsche. So. But also, you know what bothers me? I don't like people that get upset with people that say Porsche. Because sometimes people say Porsche as an abbreviation. Like when people, my name's Jory, people call me Jor all the time. My family calls me Jor, Jor. And so sometimes people, as like a term of endearment, refer to their Porsches as Porsche. Like, hey, jump in the Porsche. So I think a lot of the time when you hear people say Porsche, they're just doing it as like a term of endearment, like an abbreviated kind of endearing way. But you hear a lot of people that don't even own Porsches that like gatekeep the way you say the name, which is really cringy. Because every time I've heard people get upset and correct someone, like, it's Porsche, not Porsche. They never own Porsche. They don't ever own a Porsche. So it's kind of, don't gatekeep it. It's so stupid. Kind of like people that don't own Vacherons that get upset that I say Vacheron Constantine because I don't feel like saying Vacheron Constantin every time I say the name. But yeah, it's weird. And I own a Vacheron, so I'll call it whatever the heck I want. Zach Thrasher, really cool name. He says, I can't stand Los Angeles either, man. It's getting more ridiculous every day. Yeah, I didn't like it ever. I'm going to be clear. I didn't ever like it. I came here for school and then I stayed here because of my girl. That's it. That's the only reason. Like, I'm the least Californian, but I mean, it is what it is. How about the Hoyer Pasadena Porsche design? Let's take a look. Pulling up the images. Yeah, this thing is so nasty, dude. Ooh, this is less expensive than the 7176. Look at this. I almost like this one more. Hold on, Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise had one on the wrist. What? He had a Porsche design on the wrist? Yeah, this is dope. Yeah, I dig this a lot. Someone buy this for me and put it in my P.O. box, please. It's only $3,900. Love it. Great recommendation. Shane, certified T-Bot, says Porsche Le Coultre. It's the same thing when people I just say JLC now because I don't feel like saying je gère la coutre. Je gère la coutre for JLC. If you say je gère la coutre, people are like, what did you just say? You dare disrespect this company? The je gère la coutre. It's like, come on, just fine. JLC. JLC. Are we happy now? We're just gonna call it JLC. The pigs in the blankets, certified teeth bot. What do I think of the 914? Really cool, like really cool two-seater. It was a Volkswagen in Europe, I'm pretty sure. Like I'm pretty sure that wasn't even a Porsche in Europe. It was labeled as a Volkswagen. But so was the 928, or excuse me, not the 924 was also it was essentially an Audi. It was only for the 944 that they made it like all Porsche. But 914's really cool. Incredible weight distribution, and the flip up headlights are just dope. So I mean, come on. I wonder if foreigners mispronounce American brands. Yeah, all the time. Even Australians can't pronounce McDonald's. They call it Maccers. Come on. Bryson, certified teeth rot and moderator, says, I joked the other day about buying one. There's one in my town for $12K right now, and it's in decent condition. Hey. Dude, if you ask, okay, some Swiss French snobs will be like, did you just say Jaeger le Coultre? You just said Jaeger le Coultre? It's Jaeger le Coultre. It's Jaeger le Coultre. Did you just say Vacheron Constantine? It's Vacheron Constantin. All right, you're right, Mr. Frenchman. Where would you like to have lunch with me today? Oh, I think I would like Burger King. Could I please have Burger King? What do you want? Burger King. I want the Whopper. I would like to go to Burger King and get the Whopper with cheese. Oh, you want to go to Burger King and get a Whopper with cheese? See, no one gets upset when Europeans mispronounce American English. Or just English, for that matter. But if an American says anything without the most pristine, authentic accent, then we're being like stupid, ignorant Americans. That's so stupid. I'm not kidding. Go to any Frenchman and ask them to say hamburger. Seriously, I know some of you guys are probably in France right now. Ask a Frenchman to say hamburger. Hamburger. I would like to get a hamburger. God, what are you even saying? Shane, certified T3 robot, says, I'm thinking of changing my weekend car to Porsche. Recommendations? I've driven the Cayman and the 996, and I preferred the Cayman. Boxster 2. Never considered the 944. I mean, I'm very biased. 911s and 944s freaking rule. The Caymans are awesome. If you can find a Cayman R or a Cayman GTS. Obviously, the GT4s are like crazy. But if you could find a Cayman R or a Cayman GTS, those are freaking sick. Yeah, Mike, so it was a Porsche in Europe, but it had mostly VW stuff. Just like the 924 was mostly VW Audi. And that's why people claim the 924 isn't a real Porsche. And so Porsche was like, ugh. And then they went back to the 944, and that's why it's all Porsche. All Porsche all the time. There's also a 928 for a little more that I love. Tony Montana would prefer the 928. Dude, if I could get a 968, oh my gosh. If I could get it, hold on, check this out. Okay, do you want to see a Grail Porsche? Dude, if I could get a 968 Club Sport, Look how nasty this thing is. Dude. Hold up. Dude, look at this. That is so freaking sick here, dude. I hate color matched wheels, but this is actually so sick. The car presented here is this very special club sport that was first delivered new to Porsche in Stuttgart. Dude. Get out of here. I'm not subscribing. A big four-cylinder. The 968 featured a large 2990cc inline four, naturally aspirated, developed 237 horsepower. That was a lot for back then, especially for a four-cylinder. Get this. Vibrations were smoothed out by a counterweight crankshaft designed licensed from Mitsubishi. Transaxle was manual speed, while Tiptronic was optional. Dude, so they used Mitsubishi technology. Heck yeah. Yo, this thing is so nasty. 1993 club. This is like a Grail Porsche. If I could get a 968, honestly. I love this thing. Someday. Put it on the list. Put it on the list, baby. AJ Bones says, dang, I'm late for a very important date. What does Shane say? Did Shane respond? Royal with cheese. Yes, yes, yes. Noel J, are you a Dodge Hellcat guy, Jordan? No, not really. Mopar, no car, baby. Mopar, no car. These like Hellcats, these demons, like, yeah, they have a ton of horsepower. They have zero traction. And it's the same knuckleheads that are buying these and wrecking these. So it's like, they'd be cool.